Well, seeing as this is the internet's hottest fragrance brand, and apparently it's just about crushing everyone, we might as well follow up on it. Hi forum, my name is Manny, aka CascadeScents, and if you are remotely interested in perfume, cologne, fragrance in general, then this might be the channel for you. I'm not a fragrance expert, just a fragrance enthusiast. I like talking about fragrance. If you guys like talking about fragrance too, and or just like it again, well, thank you for pulling up. Today's topic is on Fragrance 1, of course, but before we get on with that, as always, 500 likes and a lucky random subscriber in the comments below will be picked to be the recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. So if you want to be that lucky recipient whose comment will be pinned to the top, again, please comment, like, and subscribe. But yeah, we might as well get on with that Jeremy Fragrance 1 business. And what can I say? Fragrance 1 / Office for Men, because that's the only fragrance, its debut fragrance, has had quite the year as far as sales and kind of turbulent as far as what the retail price is. That's neither here nor there. If you guys want some of my more complete thoughts on that matter, I have a review of it, so please check the description below for that if you are interested. This video is more so speculation, and I have been having a little bit of fun lately with some of my fragrance friends behind the scenes, just talking about what the next Fragrance 1 fragrance can be. Now let's presume Date for Men is pretty much up and running. Let's say that's going to drop sometime by the end of 2019, if not early 2020. And as a result, we can speculate on what we could see from this brand afterward. Will it be this situation for men or this situation for men? Who knows? And again, I don't even know myself. It's not like I've been speaking with Jeremy about this. Now, full disclaimer alert, yes, Jeremy and I do kind of go way back, but it's not like I'm in cahoots with him as far as what he should drop and whatnot. I'm not remotely tied to the brand and or sponsored, so just so you guys know, if I was, I would definitely tell you. But we might as well get into it. What should Jeremy Fragrance drop for Fragrance 1, barring Date for Men, barring Office for Men? My first idea is Beach for Men. Forum, I think this one's kind of obvious, right? We're talking about the same dude who periodically finds himself in really nice places, also likes to parade around the pool like this, so I don't see why not. Beach for Men sounds like a pretty good idea to me. All jokes aside though, I'd be kind of hyped for this because I know this is a kind of fragrance that I feel is more evocative of Jeremy, and as a result, I feel like I'd get a little bit more heart out of this release if he were to drop it. Not saying that he didn't put any effort into Office for Men or whatnot, I just think he'd be pretty enthused for this one. As for what it could smell like, who knows? He spoke wonders about things like Virgin Island Water by Creed, for example, in the past. That being said, if anyone knows anything about that fragrance, it smells great, yes, but unfortunately it doesn't last. Despite the eau de parfum concentration that Creed advertises, we all know it's just hella light, but we all know it is super delectable with its citrusy, coconutty, and kind of boozy vibe. So maybe we see something tread those kind of waters, but of course with that Fragrance 1 performance and maybe a little bit more compliment factor. Hopefully it's not just by way of ambroxan. I mean, who knows, it could be. We saw the first release, right? But again, I'm dead ass when I say that Jeremy would definitely have my attention if we were actually going to drop something like Beach for Men, so that is undoubtedly my first pick for what Fragrance 1 should do in 2020. Now let's move on to pick number 2, and this one is called Club for Men. Now I'm going to presume that Date's going to come off as something manly, something seductive, you know, with warmer notes, tonka, tobacco, things like that. Or maybe he just goes with a more aquatic direction, kind of like in the lines of Invictus, for example. But what would separate Club is maybe a louder opening note. You know, that apple / green apple / pear that you're accustomed to smelling in things like Eros or Ultra Malt by Jean Paul Gaultier, on top of whatever the Date for Men base is. But again, with that opening note, just making it a little bit more playful and maybe less intimate. Let's just hope that fruity sweetness would last throughout its lifetime. You know, I think that would be practical if it was to be called Club for Men. But real talk, on the higher end designer level, lower tier niche level, I think there's a lot of money to be made here, / such a void to be filled for Jeremy. A lot of offerings are kind of heading too aquatic lately, and some of the more brazen, powerful, club-like offerings aren't as powerful as they once were, maybe 10, if not 15 years ago. So fingers crossed for something like Club for Men to levy something like that. But now let's move on to the third offering, and I'm dead ass when I say this, I am not trolling, but I personally think it'd be really cool to see an Office for Men cologne. Or I guess Office for Men Aqua, Office for Men Low, I don't know, Office for Men Very Cool Spray. Jeremy, just please don't make Intense, Parfum, Absolute, anything like that, just because it's already hella dark and hella intense. And hey, if the norms in Europe for what is okay perfume-wise in an office environment are a little bit more lax in comparison to here in North America, then I understand where you were coming from when it came to that intense initial offering in Office for Men, but barring the performance itself, just the way it dried down with how dark the ambroxan came off of, I just don't think that's that ideal for an office scent. I think it could smell more aquatic, something more cleaner, and actually maybe a little bit more low-key, maybe with a more brighter opening note. Inject some Kilian in there for something that's going to be a little bit more ozonic and aquatic. You know, I think that would be a pretty cool idea for an Office for Men cologne. On top of that, presuming that it's going to be less as far as concentration, I think the bros would actually be very thankful for something that is going to be less expensive as the result. So maybe that's something you have in the books. But maybe for someone like me, where Office for Men was just too intense for my office, I just think in general that this would be a pretty cool idea. So you guys heard it first, Office for Men cologne for the win. Anyway, second last offering we're going to get to, and I'm definitely not trolling when I say this. Hear me out. Office for Women. Now, maybe to some of your guys' surprise, Jeremy Fragrance is not only the biggest male fragrance YouTuber out there for male fragrances, I mean, but he's also the biggest one for women's, I think. As a result, I think it might be in his best interest to do a fragrance called Office for Women. I'm not sure if he would want the same spirit as Office for Men with something like ambroxan, which typically comes off as masculine, but maybe you turn that the hell down, add some florals, add some fruits, and maybe that can kind of come off as womanly with the Office for Men vibe. I'm thinking an inoffensive white floral like a jasmine, but one that doesn't lean indolic. Maybe throw in a non-citrus there in the opening as well. Somehow make that work. I just think it would be really cool for an English-speaking creator to actually do a perfume for women. Like, we seldom see that happen. Yeah, we kind of saw that with Marzia, but deadass, I can't think of anyone else who's dropped their own line. Yes, I do watch beauty stuff on YouTube as well. So yeah, I guess those are the reasons to why I'd like to see an Office for Women. Jeremy Fragrance, please make that happen. And last but not least, we have my last fragrance one suggestion now. This one is called Varsity for Men. Varsity for Men, School for Men, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The reason I want to see this fragrance is because I don't think Office for Men comes off as youthful whatsoever. You know, despite Jeremy's exuberance, it may be the exuberance of his largely young audience. Yeah, Office for Men might be really good for a young urban professional, but for anyone younger than that, or anyone who wants something a little bit more casual, I just think it's too austere / serious of a fragrance. So something more playful and something not dark, I think would be a pretty cool, dumb reach everyday scent that maybe Fragrance One can offer. Now, Jeremy, I get why you might not want to offer something that's that versatile because of the names of your fragrance. This for men, this for men, this for men, this for men. But to be honest, I don't think a dumb reach like a potential Varsity for Men will deter anyone else from wanting the other fragrances that you might also offer. I just think it would be cool for a young person to kind of have a sidearm / go-to to just, again, go to. So you might be asking, of course, what would Varsity for Men smell like? And to be honest, this is where I'm kind of dumbfounded too. I think this is literally the one fragrance where Jeremy can kind of lean this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction in and kind of not screw up. Like, it could have elements of a fresh, spicy crowd pleaser, something like L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, for example, or maybe something fruity and ambery yet upbeat like The One by Dolce & Gabbana. Like, I literally don't know for this idea. I mean, it's Jeremy's brand. I want him to come up with the fragrance, but this is kind of the premise I guess I just want to see. So again, for the fellow youths out there, Varsity for Men, if you have any suggestions on how this one should smell like, or I guess any of these, please let me know in the comment section below. But I think that about does it for them. Thank you for tuning in to my Fragrance 1 Jeremy Fragrance Fantasy Picks, Predictions, Top 5, whatever. Again, as always, 500 likes and a random one of you subscribers in the comments will be the lucky recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. So again, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, I had fun speculating. I hope you guys had fun speculating with me. Again, disclaimer alert, I'm not in cahoots with Jeremy. I've not discussed any of this with him. So no, I'm not in on the Fragrance 1 thing, and I am sorry if any of these don't actually happen. But real talk, fair play to him on an incredible year for the brand, and hopefully you have even furthermore greener pastures ahead of you, fam. We'll see. Who knows? I mean, I guess the fragrance world is watching. But yeah, until then, thank you again to you, the forum, for your ongoing support. Take care for now. Peace out. Bye. Wear your fragrances.